If it's sports, we're throwing it down. And did we mention we happen to like the Buffalo Bills just a little bit? If it's happening in Buffalo sports, we're talking about it. This is the Mike and Brian Show. And here's Mike and Brian.
And here we go!
This is the Mike and Brian Show. Heard every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If it's sports, we're throwing it down. And did we mention we happen to like the Buffalo Bills just a little bit? If it's happening in Buffalo sports, we're talking about it. This is the Mike and Brian Show. And here's Mike and Brian.
And here we go!
This is the Mike and Brian Show. Heard every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Alright, how you guys all doing tonight? As you can see in the little description, we got the special guest tonight, Doug Rush. Doug is aka Doug is Fresh.
That's right.
You want to introduce yourself a little bit, man?
What's going on? Hello to the Mike and Brian Show community. I am Doug Rush. I am from Vintage Breaks. I am also a writer from USA Today. I am excited to be a part of the show and to be hanging out with the boys tonight. So, yeah, let's get it going.
Yeah, let's get it going.
Most definitely.
Yeah, most definitely.
So guys, in case you don't know, we've talked about it before on the show. Vintage Breaks is the community that we are a part of, that we get into group breaks and do things for. We stumbled upon Vintage Breaks earlier this spring. Mike actually came across it first, and he sent me the link, and he was like, check this out. You're really going to like this. And I started watching, and the rest is history. Now I'm hooked. So it's the greatest thing. I love it so much. There's such great people over there too. So if you ever get the chance to check out Vintage Breaks, I would definitely go and check it out. I highly recommend it if you're into the sports card collection. So Mike, why don't you show your little Don Mattingly you recently got from PSA there. I know you got that by your Mike got his Don Mattingly from the Cornerstone back. I know that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got this pretty little
Oh.
PSA 9 that I won out of a Cornerstone at Vintage Breaks.
Nice. That's 93, nice.
And then the 4 Sport Derek Jeter as well,
Oh.
the Gem Mint 10. Yeah, this one's the Gem Mint 10. I like this one a lot.
That is a
Those
sweet.
are my 2 Derek Jeter prized possessions right
I
now.
know, Brian. You lucky. Pull
Are you
them
guys?
in.
Are you guys?
And
Are you guys?
Oh.
Yankees?
I'm a Yankees fan. Mike is a Red Sox fan.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
I guess considering what the score is right now.
Yeah, I know.
They are not doing so well. So I also got this 1934 Gaudy James Carlton.
Oh, that Gaudy.
Yeah. So this one's really nice too. This is in an SGC slab though, so I like that one. It's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always like the way that the SGC holders kind of just make the cards pop.
Yeah, it's like it's a little bit wider. It's a little bit wider, but I like it. I like the way they look, and I like the black background. It really makes the cards pop.
Oh yeah,
and as far as the grading goes, I think they're
Yeah, Doug, let's see some of your stuff, man. I know you got some stuff over there.
So I got SGC.
Okay.
So I guess they call it 7.5, but I mean, Don Mattingly rookie, 84 tops.
Okay.
This was the first ever card that I had in the SGC. I mean, you can see it's a white card, but I
Yeah.
mean, these borders just make it just like pop. I
It's
mean,
awesome. So awesome.
I mean, if you like, so I mean, like, all right, so for me, like, Andy Pettitte was my favorite player ever, and I mean, I had this in a PSA 10. This was actually given to me by Leighton. I mean,
Wow.
PSA is kind of the gold standard. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you recognize the label. I mean, it doesn't have anything around the card, but I mean, we all like PSA. The label drives the price up.
Exactly.
So
The red border white label is the credibility there behind the PSA. That's what you look for.
yeah, I mean, I got a PSA 98 Bowman of Peyton Manning.
Wow, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, I mean, I got so like okay, so let's see what else I got here. Somebody keep where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So I got 2018 Topps Heritage, Gleyber Torres, who's also known as the Baltimore Orioles owner.
He's
Oh yeah.
got what, like 30 home runs already in his career against them?
Crazy.
Oh, he owns the Orioles.
Last year he crushed them.
Oh, like I mean, the announcer was like, "Well, why do you pitch to him?"
Exactly.
So,
See, I got my little Yankees cup right here that I got from Yankee Stadium last time I was there.
oh, I mean, you guys all know that my favorite basketball player of all time is Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Shaq
Oh,
rookie,
that's
Oh,
sick.
okay.
Shaq rookie,
Wow.
Shaq rookie, Shaq
Oh, it keeps
rookie.
coming. I was gonna, damn,
Huh.
Dougie, you're just
Oh yeah.
woo.
Shaq was. I mean, I was, and I tell the story all the time. Obviously, like you've probably seen the videos where Shaq breaks the backboards.
Oh yeah.
So he broke two during his rookie year. The one was in Phoenix, where he takes it down but doesn't break it, and they eventually get it back up. Now the one that was against the then New Jersey Nets, he actually it falls, it hits him right in the head and shatters. So I was up in like section like 318 or something as a 9-year-old for watching that because Shaq was my guy. He's 7'2". He's from Jersey. I mean, he was this big physical dominating presence as a basketball player, and as a 9-year-old, I'm like, that's my guy. Like that's who my favorite player was, and just to see that was like one of the coolest things I ever saw.
Wow, that's awesome. See, being from Buffalo and like our age, obviously we had the Buffalo Braves here like way back in the
Yeah,
day.
right. Yeah.
But being from Buffalo, unless we travel, it's hard for us to get to NBA games. So I really haven't had a lot of exposure at like live NBA games. I've
I
only
went to
been to
one.
yeah,
One. I went to the
and
Cavs game.
yeah, in Cleveland, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that was a great
So
experience. That was awesome. That was like
I'm guessing to see LeBron.
I did. Yeah, it
oh
was.
yeah,
Yes, I did. I am a huge LeBron fan. Huge LeBron fan. I've been trying to get a card of his. Like it's just like I said, out of my price range, way out of my price range to get any kind of type of card for him. So
I'm a very very big LeBron supporter, and I actually got one on record. I think it's going to be Lakers beating the Cat. I'm sorry, Lakers beating the Celtics in the finals.
this year.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
I think the Lakers are going to win the finals as well, but I think people are going to be surprised. I think the Miami Heat are going to make a run for it in the East. I really do. I
Okay.
think I think they're going to end up playing the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals, but obviously Giannis is the truth. He's going to get MVP again this year, so
Okay.
Please. But it's
Yeah.
just, I mean, the way that I want to see how they can, because I mean, Toronto beat them last year in, the
mhm.
playoff, and they're hard. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know if it's the rest or if it's just, I don't know how they've done, like, how they're going to handle the playoff scenario and having to, like, deal with, like,
Yeah, that's
actual.
okay. That's my question for you, Doug. How do you feel about everything coming back? Like, do you think everybody's gonna be able to, handle it coming back, and like at the leagues? Like, what leagues do you think are gonna be able to stay consistent and be able to like keep, it going and everything?
Functioning.
You know?
It seems like the NBA has had the best structure. I mean, aside from Lou Williams and his whole going to a gentleman's club and, like, come on, keep it in your pants, buddy. Like, come on, you're a
Right, seriously.
professional. Like, I mean, I totally like, hey, look, guys got needs, whatever, but at the same time, you're being paid millions of dollars to be a professional. On top of which, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and like, you need to like be in the most extreme, cautious matters. And other than him, like, you haven't really heard any cases because everyone's being safe. Um, yeah, I think the NBA has done a really good job. You haven't really heard too many cases with NHL.
I think
Um,
I was just telling Mike earlier. I think hockey is gonna like. I don't think you're gonna see a lot of stuff pop up in hockey. I feel like they're very like regulated. You know, they can keep their players contained well.
mhm.
And you know they're up in Canada. Their
Yeah,
bubble is up in Canada, so they don't have like the nightclubs in Miami or like in Florida to entice them. I also think that's a problem too. You know, as much as the bubble got placed down there in Orlando, Miami, who doesn't want to go out and have fun when they're in Miami, you know?
Yeah.
Sitting in your hotel room in Miami, what else do you want to do except go have fun, especially when you got all that money. So,
of course. At the same time, though, you're like obviously like you're a millionaire. You can do whatever you want to, so long as it's not breaking the law. With that said,
exactly.
you are also, when it's your season and when you are, one, in a pandemic, two, you're in the middle of a playoff season, you're a paid professional and you are an employee of your team. And right now, your job is to, especially with the teams that, especially in the NBA and really like any team, like right now, your job is to go play your sport and to not cause trouble. And as you have to show the most extreme resistance of
Exactly.
going to a nightclub, going to do something stupid because, I mean, in the end, yes, like being a paid millionaire, but you want to win a championship, and you're also supposed to be counting on however many people around your team, plus your fan bases. I mean,
Exactly.
your fans are the ones who pay your salary because they're the ones shelling out for tickets and merchandise and buying your jersey and autograph and everything else. And you
Paying to
owe
have a TV subscription to watch the
exactly
games now, like that stuff's not cheap, and
you owe
people commit a lot, like you said. So you should don't they don't ask a lot for you to commit back, and not to mention this condensed season. It's not like he's got to go 9 months or 8 months like the normal regular NBA season. They're trying to cram this all in into like a 2 month, 8 week, 9 week span. You know, it'll go by faster than you think, and the more you stay straight and narrow, the better it's going to be for you, and the better you're going to be for your team. You know, like you said, you got to think about your teammates too.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's like people. Yeah, that's exactly what you said, Brian. It's people really thinking about like their teammates. They're going out. They're doing all this and they're doing that. It's like, dude, just stay in the bubble. Like, let's have the season actually happen. Like, let's not.
Let's try to get back to some normality. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to happen if you guys can't do your part. You're asking all these people, you know, me, for example, I work for Pepsi. I wear a face mask for 9 hours a day at work, and I keep it on my face. I do my part. I do what I have to keep other people safe and make other people feel like they're protected as much as they can be. And that's just how the way things have to be right now. And it really doesn't help when, you know, people with platforms like professional players,
like
basketball
Kyrie
players,
is
and
backing out
football
of a
players.
season. Like, what?
Yeah, it's not good. Like that doesn't look good for that. Like you guys have the platform to talk and make things right and really push people in the right way, and you're not even doing it yourself. So, I don't know. It just doesn't seem right.
I see. I 100% what you just already said right there. Like, it's just not right that like these dudes are literally saying, okay, let's just not play, and like I get it. I get their right. I 100% get it. Like, there's a right that people have that you don't have to like play, but at the same time, it's like what are we doing here? Are we trying to play a season, or are we trying to get guys that are just like not gonna play? Like,
Trying to start the next season the right way.
yeah,
Like
come on, guys.
we could just go back to normal, you know, though, because they're supposed to be. I don't mean to get political and talk about the COVID-19 too much, but there's supposed to be a vaccine. They say by 2021, so things can get back to normal if you guys do your part and do what needs to be done. Stay in the bubble, just do it. You're already in a beautiful place like Orlando, and get. I'm sure they've got chefs. I'm sure they've got
Everything.
game rooms, video games, exactly, liquor, like they have everything they need. They don't need to be going out to the nightclubs and the gentleman clubs, like you said. Like, it's just not needed right now, man. Just put it aside.
Right. They are legitimate millionaires. And right now, like, yeah, like, and think about it, they can do all that in the off season. Like, they have an off season to do
Exactly.
whatever they want. Right now, their job, and especially for NBA because they're getting close to like ending, they got to finish up the regular season. And with anybody, like, your job right now is to go out and perform as a paid professional athlete, to do your job. The name on the back doesn't, it's, you represent what's on the front of you.
Exactly.
It's go out there and act like you've done it before. I mean, with because I mean MLB, it's been the most. So like the Marlins apparently went out to a bunch of nightclubs in Miami, and now you're hearing about the Cardinals cases, and apparently they went to a casino wherever they were. Like, and aside from that, you haven't really heard any other cases. And MLB is trying very hard to keep everything going, and they want to go through the season because everybody wants baseball back because it is it's creating a distraction from everything else going out in the world. And professional sports does that because it's distraction from, and it's entertainment aside from being sports. It is entertainment that gives everyone a chance to watch and just get away from, and that's what and if you think about it, before this past week, there was nothing from March 12th until basically baseball and basketball coming back. The only things that you had happening were UFC had a couple fights. The WWE has actually continued to do their programming down in Orlando in their performance center in a bubbled area, and I think you had soccer over in Europe. Other than that, we've all been watching Netflix. We've doing our jobs, breaking channels. Other than that, it's been a lot of nothing. And I think whatever baseball has to do and if the Cardinals and the Marlins have to get reprimanded, so be it. Other than that, aside from the one case with Lou Williams, the NBA has done a really good job, and it seems like the NHL, you haven't heard any cases. They've done a good job too.
WWE is probably one of the best things you said, Dougie. Like, that is honestly awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean,
They've been going strong.
if you think about it, they didn't cut their pro. I mean, they basically sent everyone to Orlando. Their Super Bowl of their events, WrestleMania, was supposed to go from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, and then they had to have it in Orlando. But every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, they have had their shows.
Yep.
Granted, they've had to send people home. They've had to release people. They've had to change a lot of things. But at the same time, since March, they have given everyone an outlet and a chance to watch something and live entertainment, and I think that's what's been good. I mean, I know you. I don't know what your age is. Like back after 9/11 happened in 2001.
okay.
So sports and basically life stopped after the whole thing happened with the World Trade Center in New York City. So this is back when SmackDown was on Thursday nights. SmackDown was the first event down in Houston. There was the first public gathering in the United States to happen. Baseball games
I
got
never knew that.
canceled. Football games got canceled. Week 2 got moved to week 17.
Yeah.
Everything got canceled, but WWE, because Vince McMahon and the entire WWE is like, no. We're going to be people's entertainment. We're going to be their distraction from what's going on. And that's kind of them. Like, we're entertainers. We're going to perform, and that's been the same thing. Like, they're contained in Orlando. They don't let people in. Like, if you're going home, you're going home and get out of here. And I feel like it's been good because like they're having the events, they're giving people a chance to focus on entertainment and not have to worry about politics and who's dying from this and who believes in what. No, it's like, hey, let's watch this storyline, and hey, let's watch some good entertainment, even though people call it scripted and it's sports entertainment. It's something else other than the unfortunate of what's going on over the last 4 or 5 months. So yeah, WWE definitely deserves to be commended. Like, whether people agree with the product and the storyline is for another topic and debate, but the fact that they're still going out there every single week and giving everybody a product to watch and not have to worry about what's going on in the world, they deserve to be commended for that. And I continue to be the 36-year lifelong wrestling fan that continue to watch it every Monday and Wednesday and Friday when I have the chance to. And I think they've done such a tremendous job of continuing to run it as is, given all the conditions.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. Like I said, they did. UFC too, where, Dana White was kind of like the same way. He kind of put the pedal to the ground. He said, no, I can isolate these guys. I can take my fighters somewhere else. We
Fight
can
Island.
put this on, and we can give people entertainment. And if it can be done, we're gonna do it. These guys are under contracts, under my contracts, whatnot, yada yada yada. If they can test positive or negative and not have COVID-19, there's no reason why they can't fight, and there's no reason why these events can't go on without fans. So be it. He'll lose the money on the ticket sales, but he's not. It's not like he's not making millions selling the pay-per-views and the fight nights on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Yep.
When you're the only thing on a Saturday night and you're a live sporting event, everyone will probably pay to see it. No matter what. So.
I mean, going to the games and going to things this year, I think all the owners realize it's going to be kind of a wash because this is a national pandemic. Yeah, like you're going to lose. And I mean, in New Jersey, we were kind of the first state. Our governor basically said for the Giants and the Jets home games, no fans, because we were one of the states that got hit the hardest here in the Northeast. It's just. I mean, a lot of the Giants and Jet fan bases, I mean, it sucks. Everybody loves going to the games. Everyone loves tailgating. I'm sure you guys do, and in Buffalo as well. But safety before everything else. I mean, in the end, it's a sport. It's a game. It's not life. And this is for one season. And we hope. Eventually, hopefully everything goes back to normal and we can, go back to watching the games and being, able to tailgate and everything. But, there's no, unfortunately, if you die from COVID, there's no tomorrow because you couldn't, just to buy, sorry, the football game that was a privilege to be able to go to. Look, we always enjoy the season ticket holders. Yeah, it's something that you have to just kind of.
It's a privilege.
It's a privilege that right now is being put on hold because there's a greater issue going on, and it's everybody's safety and health. So
it's bigger than going to a football game or a hockey game. Exactly, like you said, it's much bigger than that.
Like for me, I love going to Yankee Stadium. I love going to see Yankees Red Sox because that's like tradition for me, and that's something I love to do.
How many Yankee Red Sox games have you been to?
So many. I've been to so many games.
I'm so jealous.
And right now, I would love to be at Yankee Stadium right now to watch Yankees Red Sox. At the same time, I'd rather be alive to, be there to watch my children grow up and to be there, to be working every day at Vintage Breaks. So maybe I don't get to go to a game this year. I don't mind watching it on TV. I don't mind watching it on the TV right now and just being able to be entertained because the guys in Major League Baseball and the guys on the Yankees and the Red Sox and the other teams are going out there and giving their best and trying to entertain and perform. Yes, because they're paid professionals, but at the same time, they're trying to do their best because I'm sure they want to be doing what they love to do, and it's an escape from everything else going on. So, yeah, I mean, everything's put on hold right now. Yeah, I don't get to go to Yankee Stadium. I don't get to go to Giants, Cowboys. We don't go
to get Bills. We got seasons. Don't get to go to Bills. It's gonna be a rough year, man. I've had it for 6 years, man, and it's just gonna be so weird.
At the same time, you're gonna have your Bills and Jets games. You're gonna have your Bills Patriots games. You might not be in the stadium for it, but they're still gonna be on Sunday and Monday and Thursday and whatever day they play.
Yep.
And you're still gonna get to see it. Okay, it's gonna be a little different, but you know what? At the end of the day, you're gonna have something to watch, and we all just kind of have to suck it up and just. We're going to get through it, and this will be hopefully just be a memory we all laugh about in 15, 20 years.
I agree.
Dougie, do you think without having fans, any of the professional sports, like the actual game would be different? Like, do you think because no fans at a football game, do you think the players still play the same and the quality of the game is still the same?
Oh yeah, I mean, usually a lot of practices end up being very physical and in training camps. I mean, if you ever go to a training camp, I mean, athletes are, I mean, especially in football, I mean,
Competitive.
they're vicious at times, and you're talking about guys who are in the heat with shoulder pads and helmets, and you're talking about all, they some are taking stuff. We all know it. Just talking about testosterone to begin with, the levels are up, and everybody doesn't want to be showed up. So I mean, and now,
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. You know, the man in them and like the competitiveness will just take over no matter what.
I mean, it's gonna be weird in the beginning because they're so used to the having the crowds and they're so used to a setting and scenario. But once kickoff happens, once they get into their routine and their rhythms and all that, the crowd, I mean, eventually, it gets phased out. It's just, and your main goal is you're focused on the guy that's across from you, and let's get going and let's win this game. And
Exactly.
they'll eventually figure it out. And I mean, like I said, WWE was kind of the first ones to show, yeah, we can still put on a product without fans. Baseball's now finally doing it. Basketball's doing it. Hockey's about to do it, and soon so will
NFL.
the
Now,
NFL.
dude, let me ask you this. I know there's a couple like leagues and stuff like that, like MLB, and them have been doing like virtual fans and crowd noise. Like, I mean, I personally don't know if they should do that in the NFL. Now, how do you feel about that? Like, do you think it's a good idea? Like, I don't think there should be crowd noise. That should be that.
Um,
It's a little bit more of it would be an advantage if like maybe
well,
a team couldn't do it or something like that.
Well, it's actually funny because the Atlanta Falcons got in trouble for pumping crowd noise into
Practice, right?
the one stadium, not their current one, but their old the Georgia Dome, and they
Uh-huh.
got in trouble with the league a couple of years ago for it. And now, um, I mean, like I said, I'm watching the Yankee Red Sox game, and they've got the virtual fans, and they have like anytime like something happens, you hear the cheers and whatnot. So they're obviously pumping some sort of crowd noise into Yankee Stadium, and I'm sure all the other teams and the stadiums are doing the same thing. So um, I guess it might be a different thing that they do if they decide to pump crowd noise in. I don't know if it's going to help the home team. I don't know if it's going to like have any sort of advantage. I don't know if it's going to cause any sort of distraction or whatnot. But given the fact that we're in a different time, these times are different. It might help them. It might help them relax and think that they're still like in an actual like NFL game day scenario with 75,000 people in the stadium, even though there's only going to be, whoever's required to be there for the game. So,
Well, do you think they'll ever be able to do like I don't know if you watch NASCAR regularly, but they've started to like allow like 15,000
Fans
fans
in the game
into the
in.
NASCAR. So
mm,
like they're all obviously separated. If you watch the live race, they're all separated and distance from each other. And I think the one race I was watching, they were saying that the max capacity was like 99,000, but there was only like 1,800 people there that they allowed in. So like they were all spread out throughout the whole thing, but it honestly still looked like there was a decent amount of people. Like, you know what I mean, Mike? You've seen it.
Yep, just
You've
one
seen
second.
this
We
shot.
got a couple comments in the chat. Just Tyler Casilla, one of our buddies, is asking if Dougie, if you want to introduce yourself again to all the viewers that are just popping in again one more time.
Sure. So, hello everyone from the Mike and Brian Show. I am Doug Rush. I am a producer and breaker for Vintage Breaks, and also I am a beat writer for USA Today covering the Giants for Giants Wire. So I know Mike and Brian, who are fans and customers of Vintage Breaks, and decided to jump on this Saturday night to talk some sports and hang out with the
Of
boys,
course.
have a good time.
Yeah, have a
Yeah,
good time.
buddy.
Exactly. Had a
Showing
good
off
time.
you are showing off some cards, Ty. You know, you missed it. Dougie was showing off his Shaq rookies.
Ooh.
I know you're a Shaq fan, Ty. Dougie's got some really nice stuff, man. He's got way more stuff than me and you have ever shown. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm also
He-
I'm a little bit older than you guys by a little bit, so
Now, Dougie, I wanted to ask you. So, me and Mike are really struggling with figuring out what's the best way for us to get a lot of cards graded and which route we should go. Like, we have obviously, like, we have polls from you guys that you guys have personally sent us our stuff to PSA and whatnot that we're still waiting for. That's not necessarily the stuff I'm talking about, but like stuff that I break at my house and whatnot. Like, I have a stack that I'm ready to, send for grading cards that I want to be graded. What do you think is the best route? Do you think I should get the PSA membership and send the 15 or 12 that they allow free, and then after those go, send another set where
Yeah,
I
like
have
that's
to
what we've.
then
Yeah, that's
pay
something
for
that
it?
we wanted to, ask the community has asked us questions about that. We don't really know how to answer it, and we figured, you might be able to give a little bit more knowledge than we can on it.
sure.
Like these are the only 3 graded cards I have. These
Okay.
3 that I got from Vintage Breaks. So I need to send a lot of my cards to grading.
Okay, so I mean, I can't tell anyone how to spend their money. Obviously, if you wanna shell out the money to send it into wherever you want to, I mean, ultimately, it's really how long you want to play the waiting game. PSA is so backed up, and a lot of them are getting backed up because of COVID and whatnot. And even before COVID, PSA, because they are the gold standard of grading, you're kind of at their mercy. So they don't care that you are.
Waiting.
They don't care who Leighton Sheldon is. They don't
Yeah.
care who I am or you are or who anybody is. They're PSA. You're at their mercy. They don't care. You're going to wait for them, and you're going to wait for their services because you paid to have it and you want it. Now, whether you want it to have it because it's now a graded card, or if you're in the business of having it graded and you want to flip it,
Yes. That's what I'm mostly talking about, trying to flip them.
trying to flip it. Okay. Um, Ultimately, it depends on how long you want to wait. I mean, if you want to wait the distance and wait to have PSA put their label on it and to have that PSA on your card, okay. I mean, if you want to pay the extra money to rush it and have it back sooner, okay. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to tell you to spend your money.
Now, how far is SGC along with like wait time and when you ship cards to them?
Well, I mean, everybody started to jump on the SGC bandwagon when PSA was like basically the wait time was nine months to a year, and I mean even them, I mean they got backed up and they had to wait too, but some are starting to get out. Um,
J5's been doing a lot of PSA reveals lately. You guys have been seem to be getting a lot back lately.
and the ones that we've been getting back, I mean, we sent that stuff back out in February.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what. See, that's Dougie actually talking about that. That's when I first started to watch Vintage Breaks. Talking about going back, I actually did not buy anything for a while. I was kind of just like curious, watching, and then one day I was watching Chris, and actually he was saying like, oh, you can buy stuff and it will break right away, and like that was kind of what I was into. I tell Brian like I'm into more of like I want to get into a break and I want to see it broken right there. So I was talking,
Yeah.
I was watching Chris one day, and just one day I was just like, there was like 4 spots left in like a hockey or some pack or something. Bought all 4 spots, and I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure I hit like something good on my like second pack or something, and then it just got me hooked. Like I was in a bonus or something, I won a bonus or something, and I got hooked. And then I told Brian about it, and then it was over from there.
And here you guys are.
And here we are, man. Exactly.
I mean, the cool thing about Vintage Break South, and I've been, Chris's co-host many times, especially with the pandemic and all, because we're able to work from home sometimes and do this. Because he has a limited inventory and he only has what he can, break, as opposed to us with a lot of the unlimited resources. He kind of like he believes in the instant gratification, and I do too, because you waited, you want to see what's gonna, what you paid for, and you should. You're a customer, you paid for what you want. I totally believe that, and that's why last night when we did the wheel, Leighton was giving out, he was going to do the prize for the Ted Williams card. I was like, you know what? People might be more willing to spend if they have those credits. I'm like, I'm getting everybody's credits out as soon as possible. Go spend, good luck to everybody. And, it's, with our show, like, and that's why I say, like, there's a million breaking shows out there and anybody could tune in, you know, could be like, all right, spot one, John Candelera. Spot
There
two.
it is. There's the.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm gonna follow
There it is.
that. Like, ultimately, we're here not only to, like, obviously provide knowledge and talk about, like, what we're breaking, but, like, we're entertainers.
Exactly.
What, like, I thought about, like, we were people's with no sports or anything. Sometimes we were people's escape when they would watch a ball game, whatnot. No, they don't have that, so they have us. So yeah, like, we had to think of different ways to, like, make sure that, like, people were tuning in, even if they weren't buying. We just wanted people to have a good time.
Yeah.
And you guys do that excellent. I want, like, you guys seriously, like, anytime, even if I'm not watching, you guys just, like, you keep the talking going. You get
No more makes me laugh.
yeah, the
so
winner.
much.
You guys joked about last night when you guys had the PS reveal about the stain thing. I was dying. I fell on the floor. I was dying laughing so hard. Like, you guys were like that's just what I'm talking about. Like, that stuff like that, and just like the people that you guys have in the community. I mean, we've told everybody about this. Like, the community that you guys have built is so, like, it's something that me and Brian want to build in our community, and it's like,
Absolutely.
you guys have people like, Chris KO and all these other people, and I'm gonna mention Charlie C and
Jeff, all those
Jeff, all
guys.
these guys, Matthew Townsend, like, he gives out stuff too, like, he's all these guys that are are so willing, Eddie, all these guys that we've seen today, like, that are willing, to just do that for the community. It's so amazing. Like, how did you? My question is, how did you find Vintage Breaks? Like, how did you, get into, that's my question. And that's another thing about that.
So 5 years ago, I worked for the parent company. I worked for Just Collect.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I started 5 years ago working for Just Collect, and I left to go back. I got another job in media, and also I did substitute teaching. So I already had an established relationship and friendship with Leighton. When he got Vintage Breaks going, he, obviously he was looking to bring in, as the business was expanding, he was looking to bring in people who knew the product. Now, he could have tried to find somebody new that he had no idea about, and instead, a little over 2 years ago, he called me. He's like, "Hey, look, I've started this company. You already have an idea and feel for the card industry and whatnot. We already know that your sports background. I think you would be a really good fit." I started part-time with them because I was working for a school and I was still doing writing for USA Today.
You do student teaching as well? That's awesome, Dougie.
I was a substitute teacher.
Okay, you
that's
still
awesome.
do that now? Do you still, like, ever, pick up a substitute teacher sometimes, or no, not really?
I was subbing up until this past school year. Obviously, school shut
Yeah.
down.
Okay, so you were doing okay.
So, and also with the pandemic, people could only binge watch so much TV. And I think people got stuck in their houses, so they were starting to try to find things to do. And I think a lot of people were either cleaning out their basements and their garages and their attics. And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, I used to collect cards. The collecting industry boomed so much, and it just created a lot, like, and our business just massively doubled. We got more customers. So I went from part-time to full-time with Vintage Breaks. And it's just, I mean, with the support of Darren Ravel, we grew, and we continued to
So
grow.
awesome.
And
Now, did you guys, like, really see the blow up before or after the pack heard around the world?
When the pack, so the pack around the world, obviously was the national in 2018, where so for those who don't know or who are new, so at the National Sports Card Convention in Cleveland in July of 2018, we had a fresh 1955 Bowman baseball pack. And on spot 19 of 20 cards, we pulled the Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, buddy.
Was that a group
it-
break? That's just sorry to bring her up. Was that a group break? Like, did somebody buy the spot and you guys did it, or was that just like a?
Yeah, it was 20 spots. It was basically like how you see all our breaks all the time. You know,
Yeah.
it was a customer by the name of Chris Roth, who, and I think that every spot I think was like $650 a spot to get into the pack.
So worth it though.
Yeah,
It's
no.
so worth it.
Well, if you think about it, he spent $650, and I think he had 2 spots. So he spent,
Okay.
I think he spent $1,300. So before the Mantle card, an Ernie Banks card came out, and I mean that's a good card.
Yeah.
But at spot 19, it's the Mickey Mantle card, and it got graded on, basically got graded on the spot because anybody that's associated with the card game is in Cleveland for the convention, and it came back a PSA 9, and that card ended up selling for $60,000.
Oh my god.
Wow.
With the attention, that's when vintage breaks really started to take off, because then ESPN did a story on it, and all these other media companies started to give vintage breaks that attention. Plus, I mean, and with that, like they see that our work ethic, and they see that like what we do is legitimate. Everything's done on camera. And I mean, there's so like a lot of people can get their hands on modern stuff, and be able to buy stuff from Panini and all the stuff that's out there today. But Leighton, with everything that he does and how he knows how to do things, he's the true, like, the master of vintage and being able.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's my question. I don't know if
It's
you know about.
really easy to get.
Yeah, I don't know if you know about like anything, but like
it.
how did Leighton acquire so much, old stuff? That's my like he has so much. Is it like a certain like he had it, like he had his card store, like is there?
Yeah, I mean his connections. I mean he buys a lot of stuff from Baseball Card Exchange. A lot of the
I checked out that website. That website is very cool. That Baseball Card Exchange website.
A lot of the packs that you see on Vintage Breaks, a lot of stuff comes from there because everything that you buy is sealed and it's approved. And like for instance, the 1986 Fleer basketball case.
Is that them?
It's not them, but the owner of Baseball Card Exchange went to whoever has the case, and he looked at it, and he basically gave it like 2 thumbs up, and basically his seal of approval, which is
that tweet that I seen you repost, that tweet where he said that he's seen it in person, 100% authentic,
100% authentic. I mean, that basically is going to drive the price up.
Oh my gosh,
because
that's so awesome.
There's just one single box on eBay right now for an 86 Fleer box, going for $89,000. Now you don't know if that's been tampered with.
Yeah.
You don't know if they basically pulled out all the Jordans, took all the cards, put them back in, like glued it back together and try to sell it. Like you don't know that. But because with Baseball Card Exchange, everything's verified, everything is sealed, legit, everything is done, it's verified, you're getting the best of the best quality. That guaranteed the 86 Fleer case was going to sell, and anything that we get from them, it's seals, it's legit. Some of the stuff we've opened in front of people on the camera. I mean, and
How much do you think that Fleer case sells for? How much do you think it sells for, that Fleer case?
What's it at right now is the real
Last
question.
I looked, it was at 1.8 or something, I guess I heard.
I could see it going as high as 3 to 4 million.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this about the box. Now, if whoever does win the bid on this box, whenever it's sold, the case, if that person decides to, break it and open it, like what if, he's obviously got to have a lot of money. So he's not trying to either resell the box or anything like that. He's probably trying to look for Michael Jordans and get as many as he can. Mm-hmm. And Larry Birds and Magic Johnson, all those guys. You know what I'm talking. You know who is good from this set break. But let me ask you, does it damage or tamper the value of all the other cards that are already from the 86 Fleer that are out? Like, will the
I-
value of a PSA 9 Michael Jordan 86 Fleer go down when more are opened out of those packs?
Yes, I think so.
I mean, The Last Dance kind of helped boom everything, and and I mean, I've made it very, like I've told you guys, I've been personally collecting the '86 Fleer, and I actually
All you're missing is Michael, right?
Yeah, you're missing one, right?
the first, and actually I've had so much from buying, from people giving to me, being gracious enough because they know I'm collecting. I've actually had enough to build almost two full sets. But the first one that I that back on May 1st when I started all this, yeah, all I'm missing is Michael Jordan. So I've experienced like what the card values are, and even with the Fleer case, even if this person decides to break it open, that that set is so iconic. Even 5 years ago when I worked for Just Collect, the Michael Jordan card was just like such a it's basically it's the messiah of the basketball card market because it's Michael Jordan rookie card. And not only that, but the whole set itself has a lot of really good cards. So I mean, it's not, they have a, number one card, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird card, Magic Johnson card. Even though it's not their rookies, their cards in high grades, even sevens, eight, nine, and obviously tens are ridiculous. But even those high grades sell for good money. Now, aside from Michael Jordan, there's a lot of good rookie cards in that Fleer set. There's Karl Malone, there's Chris Mullin, there's Patrick Ewing, there's Clyde Drexler, there's Charles Barkley, who was one of the hardest ones for me to get because Charles Barkley's a Hall of Famer. He was in the Last Dance documentary, and I watched the value of the Barkley card just go through the roof. There's Dominique Wilkins. There's so many good players that have a rookie card in that 86 Fleer that it makes the whole entire set worth so much more. And anything in good value, if anything, it's just going to be one more card that is part of having a good card in the in the entire set. So, and if people put it in the registry, so be it. It's another card that comes out of a case. I don't think it's going to drive the value down. And believe me, I'm on eBay every single day. I look at the Fleer 86 Fleer value prices for raw, for graded, and I look at PSA, I look at SGC, and I look at Beckett too. They all go for good money, and even with if the person who buys the case decides to open it or whatever they want to do, it's going to be another card that is going to be worth something. And if anything, it might, like, especially if the Michael Jordans come out of it, it could drive those prices up depending on what they grade for. So Michael Jordan,
who knows? That box could be completely off-centered, and they could not even amount to anything that's already out there graded. Everything could be left, right, top, bottom. Like, you never know. And like, let me ask you, what do you think the actual percent chance is that that box stays sealed? I personally, I don't think I'll ever have that kind of money or that opportunity to do something
I think it's
like
getting
that,
open, bro. I'm
but
telling you.
I would keep it sealed, personally. I would keep it sealed, but that is just me.
Robert Lambert, the box has not broken yet, buddy. No, it has not. Sorry, I just want to answer him.
I mean, for me personally, like, I'm gonna pretend that like I've won the lottery, and obviously that I've won the box, and I spent my $3.5 million to go get it. My curiosity would be too much. I'm gonna break it open, and
You think you would break it open?
I'd have to. I want to know what's in it.
I think you're right. I probably would too.
It would drive me nuts. Like, I literally just spent. I'm just making it like I just spent.
Is there a backstory where the box came from?
Yeah, there is.
Where the case comes from?
Yeah, there is.
I think there is. I haven't read completely up on it, but I'm sure there's a backstory of where.
Like, who had that in their closet or in their house and could just stare at that for so long and not? Oh, it had to be forgotten about and then came across about.
4 years.
34 years. Like, that box got shipped to them probably when that case released, when the cards released, and whoever owned that card store or whatever shop or whoever got stuff by the case at that point in time. They had a full case of it. Like, that's not just a normal person. I don't have cases of cards in my closet. Trust me, it's got to be someone who has, an account with Panini, gets shipments from Panini on a regular, owns a card store. So they had to stare at that or know that that was there for so long. And maybe they thought one day there's going to be an opportunity that this box is going to go for an insane amount of money, and I will jump on the opportunity when that comes. And maybe once the last dance happened, and like you said, he or she, whoever it may be, seen everything explode and was like, this is the time. This is when this box needs to be put out and go out for auction. There's no way it could have just been stumbled upon and been like, oh my gosh,
Maybe.
86
What
Fleer.
if it's in somebody's attic sitting there, and
Like-
somebody goes up there and their dad just had it sitting there and he like died, and they're like, oh, okay, we go up here and there's just an 86 Fleer sitting up in the attic. It could happen, bro.
That's crazy.
I
That's
mean,
crazy.
I don't know if that case was the case in it, but I mean, it's that those stories end up happening. Like, we get phone calls all the time and we've had two where we literally called it the hole in the wall. So we've had a case where somebody called us and they were doing drywall in, I don't know if it was an attic or a room, but they were knocking down the walls, and out came cigar boxes from like the 1930s, and in some of these cigar boxes are basically like T206 cards, some of the
What?
stuff that we've talked about. So like there's a story that's on Just Collect's website, that Leighton wrote himself, and we've literally called it the hole in the wall, because that's literally how it got discovered. Was basically they knocked out a hole in the house, found cards, and ended up it was basically finding treasure.
Now,
That's
probably
basically-
when that person put that, box away, they probably put it away for the cigars, right? Like nobody's getting my stash of nice cigars. I'm sure they in 1930 weren't thinking about the cards, were they?
No, I think it's something that got forgotten about, and
Yeah.
just like, well, 80, 50, 60, 70 years go by. It just kind of, and there was another story where, like all the T206 cards. So I think it was a mother or somebody gave it to these two kids, and it would basically, the collection got split up. So the one person who we talked to had like the Ty Cobbs and the Christy Mathewsons and everything. And the person said that the other relative that got half of it as well, they don't know what they had, but they think they sold it. Now we're wondering, like, did they give them like the Honus Wagner card?
Oh,
Did
Yeah.
they give them like all the cards that are basically some of the hardest ones to get? We
Yeah.
don't know. They don't know what they did with them, because they didn't talk to that person anymore, and they think that they probably cashed in at the chance to sell it, but didn't know that values of especially those cards and vintage cards would go up.
Yeah.
So we're wondering, like, they had the Ty Cobb and all them, but we're wondering, did that other person have the Honus Wagner card, which is the single hardest card to find
Yeah.
in our country? We don't know.
Yeah. That is
And
so
That's everything
heartbreaking.
to tell people. Like, anytime like you go looking for stuff, it's like you're basically like, with these cards that are like vintage, you're going treasure hunting.
Yeah, I call them lottery tickets. That's what I call. That's what I tell my dad. I'm like, Dad, these are like lottery tickets, and it's like the lottery ticket that you already scratched off. That somehow, when you scratched it off the first time, it said it was worth $25, but now that you're going to turn it in 3 months later, that $25 is worth $50. Like, that's just how it is. Things change, things go up, things go down all the time. So
When I first went back, and I started working for Vintage Breaks, so I had a reader of mine reach out to me. He's like, "Hey, I've had these Michael Jordan rookie cards for like ever and ever and ever," and he shows me pictures of them, and it looked like they were and they were raw cards. So if he had sent them in, they would have graded probably PSA 7. Now,
Okay.
PSA 7 cards at the time, before The Last Dance, before the industry and all the prices went boom, we're probably looking around like $2,000. Now, PSA 7 now, you're probably looking at triple the price.
Wow.
I mean, when you're
And
talking
that's
about
a
lottery
7.
ticket, and when you talk about a lottery ticket that went from $20 to $50, that's literally what the Michael Jordans did, especially after the industry boomed and after the Last Dance. It's basically a $20 lottery ticket went to $50, and in this case, a $2,000 card went to $6,000 and $7,000.
Now let me ask you this, Doug. I know I'm telling Brian, like, I don't know if this pricing is going to continue to just keep going how the way it is. Like, do you think there's going to come to a point where it's just going to just go down a little bit and then maybe go back up, or is it just going to continue to just keep going? Like,
it's hard to it's really hard to say because I mean, like I said, we're in a pandemic still. People are still continuing to collect. People are, and I think having live sports is good. I think it's going to help. For instance, I think it's going to help Zion's value if he plays well. I think it's going to help Ja Morant's value going up. I think having the sports back, I think should help. I think having the hobby get popular again, and I think now people realizing like what they had in their attics and their basements and wherever else they store stuff. People now have that time to look and see what they put away once, and now they discover it. I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. And especially with like when you're talking about like the greatest players of all time, like I don't think Michael Jordan's cards are ever going to really go down because Michael Jordan is the golden standard for basketball.
Yeah.
Like,
for example, has Babe Ruth ever gone down in value? Has Babe Ruth never? Exactly. Nothing's changed for Babe Ruth. Nothing's changed for Mickey Mantle.
Everybody wants the 33 Audi Babe Ruth. Everybody, the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle rookie card, it continues to skyrocket because everything. I mean, they've only made so many of them, and trying to get them in high grade is very hard. The price goes up, and if there's not so many things out there, it's only going to cause more people to spend more money to go get them. And no, I don't. Right now, I don't see the market cooling. Eventually, maybe it could. Maybe once things, maybe get back to regular. But right now, no, especially with
I don't think so either.
With new people wanting to get in the hobby, with kids now like looking to get into the new players, and then with a lot of the old collectors, and maybe some of the older fans looking to continue to maybe get back into collecting and get some of their favorites, or maybe just people just in general who just want to try to find that lottery ticket and that once in a lifetime card. No, I don't think prices are going down. I think it's just, supply and demand is only so much, and people are going to want to spend because it's something that's fun. It's a hobby. It's, sports is a thing. And at the same time, people are competitive and they want what's out there. And sometimes they want the rare things. So yeah, I think it's going to continue to stay until who knows.
So I go on Reddit a lot. Like I read things on Reddit, or blogs and stuff, and some people like to talk and compare that like this 2020 NBA class is almost like the new age 86 Fleer. So what do you think about that? Do you think that the Zion Ja Morant class in 20 years is going to be something that can compare to the 86 class?
So I mean, you're talking. So we're talking about 86 Fleer, and I mean, in reality, you're talking about. I always say the 1984 draft class. So I mean, you're talking about Hakeem Olajuwon, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Sam Perkins, John Stockton, and then you're also talking. A lot of people point to the 2003 draft with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony.
Yep.
I mean, 2020 has potential because of Zion, because of Ja, because of RJ Barrett, because of Rui, because of so many. I mean, we've gone through so many of them.
So do you think this, like the Court Kings, like for example, if like someone was to have a case of Court Kings and hold on to it for 15 years, do you think that would be worth their while? Like like someone somewhere has got to be thinking when they have the money to purchase something like this, maybe I should put some of this aside,
Away.
just like the person who put the 86 Fleer or didn't touch that case of 86 Fleer did the same exact thing.
Sure, because if Zion and if Ja and if RJ Barrett and Rui and Cam Reddish all have, if they have Hall of Fame careers, and if you
Yeah.
have their rookie cards all in a box, yeah, like if they
Exactly. Yeah.
have good careers, yeah, that Core Kings case or that Panini case or whatever it is you have from 2020, it's going to drive the value up. So yeah, that's why products from 2003 that's why right now somebody has a chance to potentially win. They have a lottery ticket in their hand.
Yep.
That 2003 Topps Chrome.
Ah, that's so nice.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Whoever their $450 to go get LeBron, and they have a decision to make because we're going to offer $40,000 to buy that card back from you. You're literally holding a lottery
Brian,
ticket.
pull it up on your share your screen real quick and pull it up so everybody can see that. Show
I'll
them
pull
what
it
he's
up
talking
really
about.
quick. I'll pull it up really
And I
quick.
mean, for me, like I've said before, like I'm a huge LeBron fan. I have some of his cards. I mean, I have more of his like Lakers cards and whatnot. But like, if I'm given a chance to sell a card that I spent $450 on for $40,000, I would be financially irresponsible not to sell it. As much as I love LeBron and I think the world of him.
See, I told Brian, I'll tell you what, if I win a mixer and I get in there, I'm not selling it. I'm keeping it.
You should, absolutely you should. And I couldn't blame you if you wanted to keep it because I mean LeBron James is going to finish as a top 5 and even top 3 player of all time. And I mean, I feel like if he wins one more finals and does so with the Lakers, I mean that just cements his legacy even further. I mean, he already did it when he won a title with the Heat. He cemented everything when he won a championship.
Bro, why are
with
you
the
not
Cavaliers.
Hold on, why are you not sharing it on your actual screen, bro? It's on a different screen.
What do you mean? It's down here on the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah, they can't see that.
Oh, okay. Well, hang on. I'm sorry.
I'll
I thought
pull
I
it
was
up.
doing.
I got you.
Pull it up, Mike. You can do it better than I can.
Yeah.
You know how to work stuff that Mike, you do the stuff behind the glass. You're like my Dougie. You gotta help me out here.
All right, well, click your share screen and set it up. Or Dougie, can you do it on your phone, Dougie?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to see if I could pull up. So okay, because I actually can. Yeah, I actually have it here.
Oh.
I'm just throwing things at computers and whatnot.
There you go, guys. That's what you can get. If you go on VintageBreaks.com and you check that out, they're going to give away for that LeBron card $40,000.
2003 Topps Chrome Black Refractor set. This is a LeBron James and a PSA 9 that is selling for $40,000. If you spend into the break and you get one of the spots in it and you land on spot number 111, which is the LeBron James card, that rookie, that card is $40,000. We are offering to buy it back from you for $40,000. You essentially have a $40,000 lottery ticket in your hands that you could cash in that night. So
buddy.
that could eventually so I mean 2003 was what 17 years ago. So in 15-20 years time, yeah, maybe Core Kings has that same exact value and some set ends up making a John Morant or a Zion Williamson card, whatever card that the industry decides that is worth it, ends up being the same as that 2003 card, or just it makes it the 86 Fleer Michael Jordan card. You don't know because their careers literally just started, but there's so much potential and there's so much hype and market value right now on Zion and Ja.
Yeah, tell the viewers about the Court Kings box. You know, isn't that a great box? It's, you know, like all those new boxes, like Panini Contenders. How do you feel about that price of the Panini Contenders too? The $800.
Oh, I mean,
the Chronicles. You mean?
Yeah, Chronicles. Yeah, you know what I'm talking. Yeah. That's $800.
$800, but I mean, it's basically think of it as high risk, high reward.
Exactly.
Because you're spending in to get it, and you're spending in to get a chance at something that I mean, You might not be able to retire off it, but you
No.
spend $800 to
It's a
get.
nice chunk of change for yourself, though. That's for
Okay,
sure.
all right. So I want you to think about. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, we did the 2013 Panini Elite box. It was myself and J5 in the office. Were the
Honest.
only ones too,
Yep.
and each spot was $30. And out came a 2013 autographed rookie patch card of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, even in 2013, Giannis wasn't Giannis of 2020.
No, he
But
wasn't.
at the same time, it's still his rookie card. It's still a rookie card auto patch card. That card, I think Darren Ravel tweeted it. It at least in a PSA 9 was selling for $1,000. So who knows what a PSA 10 would cost? And let's just say that card came out pristine and perfect. A $30 spot ended up turning into $20,000.
Oh.
And that's what we try telling people all the time when we're trying to do, like, our small little breaks over here on our side. We're like, guys, like, we watch it, we see it happen on vintage breaks all the time. We see the guys who gamble all the time. They know to take the risk, and they're the ones that hit the autograph Zion Williamson and the autograph John Morant, and they're cashing in for that card is the card that's going to be worth $17,000. Even just right now, wait until, like you said, if you can sit and you can wait and let that card value up, go ahead and do that, because there's so much talk about John Morant and Zion Williamson. There's so much potential. It's just, it's crazy, man. It really is crazy how many zeros you can see behind a card,
Okay, so
with a picture of a guy.
So because we've been talking about 86 Fleer so much, so to give everybody a kind of like an example of what potential is. So right now we have on our website, and I'll show it on the. So that is in our office right now. That is a picture of a sealed pack from 1986. That is in a PSA holder. So PSA has looked over this pack. There is no tampering because they actually rated it a PSA 8 for a pack. So this is a pack that's in good shape. That is sealed. That is from 1986. That has not been messed with. So that has been verified by the elite of elite graders in this country. So Leighton bought that pack for however much he spent on it. So we are on our website, we are charging it's $295 a spot, and it's 13 spots. It's 13 spots to get in.
Michael,
it's 12 cards plus the sticker. That's how the 86 Fleer packs are gone. 12 cards, one sticker. Now, I've seen many packs where you might get some of the commons. The sticker is always usually of someone decent, but the sticker sometimes has the gum residue on it. Sometimes you can get a good card. You can get the Larry Bird, you can get the Magic Johnson, the Patrick Ewing, the Charles Barkley. But we have pulled before the Michael Jordan rookie card. So there's the chance that you could spend, and we've called them the one spot heroes. You could spend the $300.
one spotted hero. I have one spotted hero for this baby right here.
Hero. You could spend the $300 to get into the pack, and then all of a sudden, let's say a Jordan comes out of a pack, and we send it in for grading. One of the last ones that we did ended up coming back a PSA 7.
Whew.
You just spent $300, and you've got yourself now what a $6,000-$7,000 card.
Dougie, this has got to go for grading.
Oh, 94 SP. I was so hoping. I did 2 personals on Friday night for Ricardo. Yeah. I was so hoping that either that card
Ricardo got 2 Derek Jeters though.
Yeah, I know he did.
What's funny too is I prepared both of those packs on behind the scenes. Those were the last 2 packs of that box.
Wow.
Really?
And ironically enough, the last 2 packs.
Wow.
Have Derek Jeter in them. Like, we've done so many of those 93 SP baseball packs, and of that box that we had in the office, it's so ironic that the last 2 had
that is so crazy
in consecutive packs. The odds of
It's,
that are
whew.
astronomical, and yet in a 24-hour span, Derek Jeter came out of both of those packs. Like that's just
Right
and
when the baseball season started up again, too.
Yeah.
That was so awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Dougie, a little thing for you, just so you know, the first break I ever bought into at Vintage Breaks is actually still at PSA being graded. But
okay.
J5 was gracious enough to give me the wrapper.
Oh, nice.
This
66
was,
Batman.
yep, this was the first break I ever bought into at Vintage Breaks. And
Okay.
this was the wrapper that I got from J5 graciously
You
Ooh.
want
enough
to do the
to give
wheel
it to me.
spins?
So that's the first card that I'm waiting for to come back from PSA for you guys. That's what I've been looking for in my PSA reveals lately.
All right.
So keep your eyes open for the Batman cards when they come in through PSA.
So one of my, I call him as I'm his account manager, but Danny Brewington, who
Yeah, we know
has,
Danny.
has been so gracious, and he's become a friend of mine. So today was kind of a mail day, and it was not even really for me. It was more for my kids.
Uh-huh.
So
That's
the thing
great.
that he actually sent to me, and I mean, we're talking about stuff from I can't I have to look at the dates. So I was never a big comic book person, yet my favorite superhero is Batman. So
That's
from
awesome.
a collection. So my son ended up getting the Avengers and Star Wars, and I posted a lot of the stuff on the buy sell trade. But
I'll
I
check
mean,
it out.
I ended up keeping some of the Batman comics that he sent
I
me.
don't blame you, man. Those are awesome.
Those are
So I mean,
awesome.
I mean, I'd have to look and see. So okay, these might be from the actual 70s.
Wow,
So
that's
I
awesome.
mean,
I see that one's got that last one had Green Arrow in it too. That's
Danny
cool.
Brunson loves his 1980 basketball, I'll tell you that.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, Danny loves the 1980 basketball, man. He's already hit a Larry Bird, hasn't he?
yeah, actually on Friday he did. Gilmore pulled it from him.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
I mean, for me personally, I love opening it because, growing up, my dad was a diehard Celtic fan and Larry Bird fan, and I tell the
Okay.
story if he had his way, my name would have been Larry Bird Rush. My mom vetoed. So, I mean, Larry Bird holds even though I was younger and I only got to see the end of his career when he had the back injuries and whatnot. So I didn't get to see him in his prime, but Larry Bird holds a very near and dear place to my heart. So the
Mhm.
fact that every time there is a 1980 basketball pack that is about to be open, like I kind of hang on to it because when I get a chance to go on camera, I'm like, I want to crack this open because I want to pull a Larry Bird and I want to pull the Bird Magic Dr. J card because, and also now too, for anyone who may be thinking about going to Vintage Breaks, so we actually have a bounty now on any Bird Magic card because those have gone up in big time value.
Oh yeah.
So anytime that we do a 1980 Topps basketball pack, and if we pull the Bird Magic Dr. J rookie card, if we send it in for grading, and if it comes back a PSA 10, we at Vintage Breaks will buy it for $100,000. If it comes back a
Did
PSA
you hear that,
9,
guys?
if
$100,000.
if it comes back a PSA 9, we will buy it for $12,000.
So
So
that really gives you the gauge between like how hard it is to hit a 10
And a 9.
between a 9, especially when it comes to vintage, because you really don't see a lot of 10s in vintage. Like I was gonna ask you that earlier, Dougie. Have you ever seen a card from like even 1970 grade anything better than an 8 or a 7? Like all the Babe Ruths, all the Ted Williams, they all just seem to be no bet. I've never seen you guys have anything better than a 7, but that seems like that's the best there is. Is there a reasoning behind that?
because I mean, it's just back then. I mean, the quality control of printing and cutting
The way
wasn't.
people didn't know the value of what the card was going to be either. You know, they don't treat it the same way everyone treats cards now. So
They
yeah.
I guess the quality department or whoever was in charge at Tops and Leaf and Donruss and
Mhm.
whoever, there wasn't really like a. I guess they weren't really too concerned about like where and pink and cut. It was just we're gonna get these cards out, whatever they are, they are.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I've asked my dad. My dad was born in 1959, so he's 60 years old now, 61 years old now. So when when I ask him, like, Dad, you used to buy, sports cards from the store all the time. Says, Bri, we bought the cards for the gum. That's
Yep.
what the cards were for. You would get the gum out of the wrapper. Sometimes
Yeah.
you wouldn't even take the cards out of the wrapper. You would just throw the rest of the cards in the wrapper right into the trash. I'm like, wow, that is crazy to think about. He's like, wasn't thought about back then.
If I could have $1 for every time that we have gotten a phone call from somebody, or if I've heard that story from somebody, I could have a small fortune
Yeah, it's like,
because people didn't realize that, like, it just, they got put into a shoebox, they got put into a sneaker box, they got put into something because they didn't realize what they had. I mean, my dad, before he passed away, my dad was around your guy. He was born '61, so
okay.
Okay.
so if my dad were alive right now, my dad would be 59. So my mom is 60. So my parents are
Okay.
right around your
Yeah.
parents' age. So my dad used to have the really really big, and we're talking like 70s, like 1970s, the really big tall GI Joe figures.
Oh, wow.
We're talking about something that may have been like what, 30, $40 back in the day, but if you go on eBay and you try to buy one now, you're talking about something you're probably spending $10,000-$15,000 on trying to get one of those.
Wow, that's crazy.
And like my dad, like he was one of 9 kids. He's like, yeah, me and my brothers, like we didn't think it, like we would like go and like we would like blow them up because like that's what you did back in the 1970s.
Yeah.
You basically, you didn't think like, oh yeah, in 40 years time this thing is going to be worth $10,000. No, you had fun with them. And
Exactly. Even me and Mike, like when we were growing up, Pokemon, like that were the cards like our parents bought us mostly. Like we do bowling leagues, baseball leagues, stuff. The thing they give us Pokemon cards. That's what kept the kids enticed.
Yeah.
We go to Walmart, we'd get Pokemon cards, all that type of stuff. And we got to the point where we were putting cards in our bike tires to make them try and sound like motorcycles.
Yep.
And we didn't know what we were doing. We probably, I know they're just Pokemon cards, and they don't carry so much value as some sports cards do, but we were just burning them and ripping them away, and bike tires, no problem. And I'm sure hundreds of people did that back in the day as well.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Pokemon because that's actually something we've started to dabble in because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the first series, and I know Sam would be more, would be better talk. I call him our Pokemon guru because he knows so much more about it than I would. But I believe the first series from like 1996, sealed and everything, is worth a lot more money.
Oh yeah, me and Mike have watched a guy break open some like first series Pokemon before, and he got one of the Charizard is like the sought after Pokemon. He's like the Mickey Mantle of Pokemon cards.
And my dad's in the chat. And my dad said that he used to tape his cards to the bedroom wall sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's like, the way you treated them, you just never thought.
Yeah, nobody really knew. Like we bought a Vintage Breaks bought a Pokemon collection a couple months ago. We bought it, I think for $23,000 from a lot of the first.
Wow.
So I mean, we are slowly starting to get into the Pokemon market.
Really?
That's sweet.
So if anybody out there, if you have like first series and it's sealed and you have a collection and you don't know what to do, reach out to Vintage Breaks, especially Sam, who is our Pokemon guru. I mean, we at Vintage Breaks and Just Collect, we are looking to buy. So
Mike,
what?
now.
We should give Dougie, send Sam the Pokemon that we have left. We have a couple.
We have a ton of first edition Pokemon cards.
Yeah, because like before we both started doing the sports cards together again, we were doing Pokemon again. Like we dug out our Pokemon cards and we were like, holy crud, we have so many of these. And Yu-Gi-Oh was the same way too. Yu-Gi-Oh was a big thing, but that was more of like a card game where we played the card game, not so much where you just collected the cards to look at the cards. Yu-Gi-Oh was more of a you get together, duel each other
Yep.
type thing.
Yeah.
That was the thing back in the day. But no, it doesn't really seem like our generation, at least my friends and whatnot, they haven't really. I mean, I won't say there's not a lot of people, but it doesn't seem like my generation has carried the Pokemon with them into their older age. They've all seemed to kind of, shoved off of it for some reason. I don't really know why, because I personally still think the cards are really, really cool. Like, it's awesome to see the vintage Pokemon cards.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, you didn't really see a increase in popularity for Pokemon until a couple years ago when Pokemon Go came out.
Yes.
I feel like that kind of caused a resurgence, and now, like, because the first series, has so much value because it's the first series and it's especially sealed and has that's what is the
Thought
money.
after, yeah.
Now that the game kind of caused the interest again, and all of a sudden everyone started to dig through what they used to have, and again it's basically it's treasure hunting, and all of a sudden it's like,
Getting lucky. Getting lucky.
it's lucky, it's finding that lottery ticket, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we might be able to cash in, and then all of a sudden, yep, now you have your interest again.
Are you telling me, Dougie, that some point in the future I could buy into a first edition Pokemon break?
It could happen.
Is that what you're
That'd be
hitting?
awesome. That would be
Oh!
awesome. That would be something I would definitely be interested
Yeah,
in.
me
because
too.
That,
Our company and breaking companies are evolving. I mean, 5 years ago, I mean, we would never even entertain the thought of buying Pokemon cards, and then all of a sudden, like I said, we bought a collection for Pokemon cards for over $20,000, and I'm just like, wow, times have changed.
I know
But
so
yeah,
much about Pokemon. It's insane. It's one of my.
that's-
It's absolutely insane. Me and Brian love it.
Yeah, I mean that's the market. I mean that things have changed, times have changed. I mean we're buying Batman cards, we're buying
Star Wars.
like we're
I
buying
love the Star Wars
we're
cards.
buying WWF, we're buying UFC, we're buying soccer products, we're buying all sorts of different things. It's
Yeah,
we're
I seen
gauging
the new soccer that impeccable soccer. I seen that was a new product that's up there.
we're gauging the market to see what people want and what interests them, and yeah, that's I never thought 5 years ago we would ever even entertain buying Pokemon, and yeah, we bought a massive collection for them, and yeah, who knows what the future? Who knows a year from now what we'll be doing in and even 5 years from now at Vintage Breaks, what we'll be doing as far as breaks go, but it's an evolving market, and who knows what it will be even 6 months from now. Who knows where it'll be?
Exactly. Dougie, I just want to thank you again, man, for coming on with us today. Really appreciate you giving us some of your time, man. I know this is probably new to our community, having a guest on here. Dougie is an awesome dude. Vintage Breaks is an awesome place. It's a great community to be a part of. We highly recommend checking out the website. Again, I'll type the website in the chat so that anyone
And
who
actually,
wants a
Dougie
link
is
to go.
technically the first Mike and Brian guest, Dougie. So you have the honor of being the first guest on the Mike and Brian show.
I am glad and I'm honored that I got to do this. This is, I mean, yeah, I'm honoring the brand, and I'm promoting the business, but I mean, to me, this is just it's us on a Saturday night hanging out, talking about sports, talking about cards, and just having a good time. And
Anytime you want to do this, man, we're available for you. You know that, man.
absolutely.
Even if we're not doing a live feed, just chit chat, Discord call.
Yeah.
We'll get Gilmore in on this pretty soon. I know he said he wanted to take a part in this.
I'm sure he would. I mean, this we have a good time of it because it's a passion of ours. Because
Exactly.
even though I mean my background is sports journalism and sports writing, but like I mean, at 9 years old, I was a card collector too, and I talk about it all the time. The first thing I ever collected was 1992-93 Upper Deck basketball, and I was treasure hunting for the Shaquille O'Neal rookie, because that was the thing to get when I was 9 years old, along with Michael Jordan cards. And it's always been something of mine that I always kept near and dear to my heart, because back when I was a kid, my dad used to take me to the card store, the local card store here. It was inside of a hardware store.
Oh,
And
really? That's cool.
yeah, it was a House of Paneling is what it was called, and inside it he had his big hardware store, and then in this little like area way was the card store, and he made good money off it. It's just he didn't have eventually mom and pop shops.
Yeah,
Eventually
definitely.
they shut down.
Me,
A lot of card stores shut down too. So,
yep.
but I mean that's just the hobby has been like a near and dear thing to me, and it's so awesome to see that it's resurging. And now I'm trying to get my son slowly into it, and whether or not he'll be into it by the time he gets 9, 10, 11 years old, who knows. But
All his own choice too. If he doesn't like it,
if he
whatever.
doesn't like it, if he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it, and that's okay. But like
Exactly.
I hope that in time the hobby will continue to grow and be
Yes,
awesome,
me too.
and like 30 years from now, like kids who are our age, and it'll be a thing that's just like, oh yeah, 2020 Court Kings, like, oh my god, like I can't believe that thing was like, they could only spend $70, like that thing's worth so much money now. So
Exactly.
who knows what it is, but I think it's a fun thing, it's exciting. And the way that we do it, you're treasure hunting, because when you pull that card, and especially for me as a breaker, the chance, like you see, like when I pull a Jerry Rice rookie, when I pull those big hits out, it is like
Excitement. Yeah.
rewarding things, even though it's not for me, for one of you guys, because you spent your money and your time and your effort to be with us, and now you're getting something that's so rewarding. It's an awesome feeling, and it makes me want to do it every single day. So
Yeah, that's what
Definitely.
we want to start doing for our community as well. We are kind of doing the same thing, and we want to get be able to pull, like, we actually, our first best pull we ever had was a Bowman 1 of 5, Andrew Vaughn.
yeah, I remember you telling me the other night. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the chance to get something like that makes it all worth it. And when you finally see it, like the Giannis card that we saw not too long ago,
You guys freaked
Kobe.
out. Oh my god, Doug, you're dude. I love when you do it, man. When you get excited, I love it. That's my favorite part. I
the
get so
best.
it's the best.
it's just it's enthusiasm. It's basically I compare it's like you're watching your team win the World Series in Game 7. It's just the chance to see, for me, especially for me, like being a sports fan, getting to see something that's so rare and is so amazing. It's once in a lifetime, because you may never get to see that again.
Like I'll tell you, Dougie, I don't, it's not talked about so much in the vintage breaks community because the cards aren't really collected as much, but I am what you would call a die-hard Tiger Woods fan.
Okay.
So when Tiger Woods won the Masters last year, you can ask Mike. I was here in
Brian
my room.
cried.
We were watching it together. There were tears coming from my eyes. I was so happy for Tiger, to see him back on top, winning the tournament again. The Masters, the most glorified tournament in all of golf. It was such. I can compare to exactly what you're talking about. Like that feeling is just so awesome, and you can't grab it unless you see it
I mean,
firsthand.
if you think about over the last 10 years for Tiger, I mean, what a redemption story. I mean,
Oh
Tiger.
my gosh.
Tiger.
I've been
falls
saying
hard.
it for so long. He's coming back, Dougie. I've been
I
saying it since I was in ninth grade in high school. Tiger Woods will be back. And he
mean,
came back.
When you think about it, like the injuries, the play kind of dropped off. His personal life took a hit. His
Oh my
image
gosh,
took a
yeah.
hit. And the fact that not only was he able to play at a high level, but he won the tournament of tournaments in his profession, all of a sudden it's just like Tiger Woods was back.
Back.
Golf was back.
Yeah,
The
golf
gallery
was back.
following him.
Yes,
The
exactly.
gallery following behind him was like hundreds
Insane.
of thousands
It's
of
how it
people.
used to
Like
be,
that was
bud.
crazy. That was crazy to see again.
Yeah, I
Live.
mean, for me personally, I mean, me at 13 years old and 14 years old. So I mean, I got to see Tiger Woods when he was in his prime, winning every
Yeah.
single tournament and being like basically the gold standard of the golfing, and basically like if you think about like the Mount Rushmore, like in 1998, I mean you're thinking Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky and Mike Tyson and Tiger Woods because he was on top of the golf game. I mean, his personal life kind of, and the injuries and everything, and he wasn't winning anymore. He took the tumble, but then this whole country loves nothing better, nothing more than a good old redemption story, and he scored right up and won his tournament and won that title, and it was such a feel good thing, and it's like everyone forgot about all the indiscretions and everything that he went through.
They don't talk about his DWI or his DUIs and all that bad stuff. He's back to the Tiger Woods he was before.
All that mattered was that he won, and he struggled, and he bounced back to win. And that's what everybody loves, is a good old redemption story, to see somebody who struggled, because we can all relate. And
exactly,
it was good for him to actually get back, and I think he actually appreciated it this time, because when he was younger, he was just so used to winning. So then he actually had to experience the tough times of not always going into a tournament ready to win, and he had the injuries, getting a little older, so he finally had to really, really work to get back. And a lot of us sports fans, even if we're not big into golf, and I'm not the biggest golf fan, I'll admit it, but you know what? We all know who Tiger Woods is, and the fact that he struggled and got back, we all appreciated it.
Oh, it was an amazing story. An amazing story just to see him actually, like I said, he went through so much in his real life, and then he just comes back, injuries, and it kept putting him back and farther back, and then finally, when Brian seen what happened, Brian got emotional, and it felt good, to see somebody to get that excited about sports, man. It's awesome. That was really truly awesome.
That's what I love about sports, is the emotion and the passion behind being a sports fan. It's just uncomparable, and don't ever if you're a sports fan, if you have a passion for sports, don't ever let anyone tell you it's just a stupid game played with a ball or anything like that. If it has meaning to you, and seeing something go right for your team or whatever team you root for brings you happiness and brings you the satisfaction that you need in life, so be it. Because I'm right there with you. Dougie's right there with you. Mike's right there with you. Sports is where it's at. And sports bring happiness and joy that you might not be able to find in your normal life.
There's a movie quote that I tend to I share with everyone, and I use it with a lot of things, especially sports. And it was from a movie called Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck. So he has this great quote, and it's baseball is a game, and games are supposed to be fun. And it's in the end, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something you enjoy.
Exactly.
It's not supposed to be something that you get crazy about, but we all do. I mean, because we wrap up so much of our personal emotions into it. At the end of the day, yeah, for me, when the Giants overcame the 18-0 Patriots to win Super Bowl 42, I'll never forget that feeling. I'm sure there's so many other
Thank
moments.
you so much, by the way.
Yeah. So,
made me feel good, I'll tell you that. It made me feel good to see David Tyree catch that ball on top of its heads like that, and then they drive down and kick the field goal, and they beat Tom Brady.
Yep. So for you, Mike, you're a Red Sox fan. Back in 2004, when the Red Sox ended their 86 year streak and finally won the World Series, I mean, there were some old Boston fans who cried tears of joy because they had to wait so long. In 2016, when the Cubs won the World Series, waiting 108 years
I couldn't even
the World Series. I mean, there were old Chicago fans who were just finally ended the streaks, and just
they can die happy and all that stuff. Yeah,
that's what sports can do. Maybe your job isn't that great and life isn't that good, but there's always sports. It's gonna happen every year, and there's a chance. When the season starts 0-0, you have a chance to see your team do something special. And that's what every year you walk in, you guys as Buffalo Bill fans, me as a Giants fan, a Yankee fan, whatever fan that you are, you have a chance and hope that your team might be able to finally do something this year. And that's why you go into it every year with so much hope and excitement, because, hey, maybe this year is finally the year for us.
Yep. Us Buffalo Bills fans.
I'll tell you
man,
what, the day that
we say that every year.
I'll
Trust
tell
me.
you what, the Bills ever win a Super Bowl, you'll see me crying for 3 days. Like, for real. Like, I'd be so happy, man. It would be insane.
I can
So-
imagine it. You guys have struggled as a fan base, and now you guys actually have a good team. And you know what? I mean, I put you in there with Bills fans, Cleveland Browns fans. There's still teams who have yet to even been to a Super Bowl, like the Cleveland Browns. I mean, there's teams out there who have yet to even see one championship. Myself, as a Giants fan, like people are like, aren't you upset to see your team go 4-12? Well, yeah, I mean, it's not a fun season, but at the same time, I've had my chance to see Super Bowl wins. It's okay if I don't see a couple playoff victories because I'm fortunate enough that I've been alive to see 4 Super Bowls in 5 attempts. Like, there's other fan bases who have yet to see even one. So
Exactly.
when
I
you
couldn't
finally
agree
get,
more.
when you finally get that one, like I'm sure the Seattle Seahawks fans were finally excited in 2013, winning in MetLife Stadium here in Jersey. I mean, there's a feeling that can never be duplicated because it's pure, it's
Kansas
authentic.
City, for example. Like, that was just amazing last year, seeing Andy Reid win his first Super Bowl. Like, that was just something that I want. Like, as an NFL fan, that's something that I personally wanted to see. I wanted to see Andy Reid win the game. Like,
And I do too. And I did too. Like Andy Reid, like even though he coached a rival with the Philadelphia Eagles for so long, Andy Reid's a good football coach. And it's just unfortunate for him that he had so many good teams that just almost got there and just kind of missed. And then he got Patrick Mahomes. He got a really good Kansas City Chiefs team. And
We gave them Patrick Mahomes, Dougie.
I know.
We traded that pick
and
for
I
Trey
wanted
White.
him. No, you know what's funny, Dougie, is I'm a huge, like, I love the draft and do all that. During that year, my top quarterback in that draft, Patrick Mahomes. I have a thing written down. I literally have it. All my friends were like, oh, he's not. Bro, he had the arm. He had the talent. Like, I thought he was the best quarterback out of that draft coming out.
So, I mean, so me, like, obviously, like, I follow, I mean, I cover, as a beat writer and whatnot. So, Patrick Mahomes' dad was a former major league reliever for the New York Mets. So, he already understood the New York mentality, the pressures of being a professional athlete. He had a really good head on his shoulders. Boomer Esiason, who works in New York, he does a radio station, daily show here in our area. He got a chance to talk to Patrick Mahomes, and like he's like, this kid is gonna be legit. He's already got it figured out. Not to mention the fact he's got all the tools and the talent to be a really good pro.
He's a rock star, man.
If you think about it, like after Alex Smith moved on, year one he gets to the AFC Championship, and the reason why they don't win is because of the overtime rules. And in year two as a starter, he is the Super Bowl MVP and gets paid $503 million.
I know.
Like,
It's crazy.
Do you think Mahomes' card value is going to continue to go up?
yes.
Every year his value is going to go up.
All right,
I
just a
feel
little
like.
announcement, Brett, because I know we've been able to do it. So everybody that is in the chat, if you stay till the end, everybody that's in the chat, we are going to be doing our giveaway for the 500 followers. Me and Brian reached 500 followers today, so we have been reaching on a giveaway. So at the end of the chat and everything, we're going to have Dougie pick a question. He's going to message it to Brian and me in Discord, and we are going to do the question. He's going to say it, and whoever gets the question first right in chat will be getting this little gaggle of cards right here. It's 5-card gaggle, and they're going to be getting these 2 free sealed packs as well.
All right, so you guys want me to come up with a trivia question?
Yes,
or-
please, Dougie, and then send
Yeah,
it to...
something. You're the trivia master.
You guys have a personal preference of sport?
Does not matter.
Oh, let's go football. Let's go football.
because we have a lot of
for the
football
viewers.
fans in here, yep.
All right, football. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna research a little bit because I'm mixing up with something. Let's see. What do I want to do?
You got a couple minutes to think here, Dougie.
So if you guys want to talk, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
read
Oh,
alright,
you're
go ahead.
good. You're good, man. So, guys, I know we had our special guest, Dougie, here with us today, talking a little sports, little cards with us. We are still doing our breaks. we still are doing our spots in our Court Kings box that we have here. And on my spot, we also have a Goodwin's Champions box that we're selling spots in the break for. So if you guys are still interested in that, let me know in the comments. I know this little
And I
segment
have
of
behind
the
me
show.
as well, guys, the Optic baseball that I have as well, right here. You can see it right here. It's a great product. 2 autos per box, guys. That's also available too. Me and Brian, we're probably gonna go out here for a while, and then me and Brian might pop on later, just to do the break-in and everything like that. But we did want to bring Juggy on here because Dougie's an awesome person. Me and Brian really do appreciate like him letting us be a part of the community and Vintage Breaks because he does do a lot for that. But and honestly, like the things that he does for the community, guys, he comes on and breaks for us sometimes. He helps us a lot, and it was awesome for him to take his time out of his day to come to our community and express what what he's done and stuff like that. So I just want to say personally from me, I appreciate it, and from the Mike and Brian community, we do appreciate it.
Yes, Dougie, thank you so much, man.
Oh, of course.
And guys, we did drop the link for the website, for the Vintage Breaks website, and they have a very good, very clean. They just got their website redone, so it is a very nice website, very easy accessible. That link will take you right to the website. You can make an account. If you are making an account and you're a new customer, just send me and Mike a message. They do a thing with a referral code, so we'd like to give you our little referral code if you are going to become a new member over at Vintage Breaks. It'll get you some discounts on your first purchase, so you'll definitely want to do that. So if you head over to Vintage Breaks
and make sure you guys, if you go in the chat or anything, make sure you say, you came from the Mike and Brian community. They'll like to see that. They know who we are. They like, they like that kind of stuff. So we're trying to bring, we're trying to, combine the community. We're also, we love their community, and that's why me and Brian always promote them here, guys. We love it. Ask Dougie. Dougie will tell you guys.
You guys actually beat me to it. I was just gonna say, like, if you tell us that Michael Keller and Brian Hawbaker sent you to us, and you're participating and buying into stuff, we're gonna take care of you guys because that's all part of it. Like,
they'll take care of you.
Yeah, I mean, you're spending your time, your money, your effort. You can go to any breaking channel and place you want to, but you're investing into us, and we appreciate it. And we just, we want you to have a good time, and like that's ultimately, like, we don't want you just to buy one time. We want you to be around for a long time, and that's
exactly. And you will, guys, once you get into one break and you see what goes on, and you watch the break happen, and you get a hit, and you get some giveaways, or you're in a promo and you win a card that you never thought you could get in a promo, you'll get hooked and you'll fall in love.
Guys,
and,
okay. For example,
you'll be
guys,
happy you became a part of the community.
You could, like, for the owner and the person that we appreciate for what he does for Vintage Breaks, Leighton. He's awesome, and he has a thing called Community Chess. And I, for example, got lucky enough to win this Darrell Rivas PSA 8 rookie
you got
card.
The Rivas card. Ooh, you got the Rivas card. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh. Yep. And that, I mean, I got to see Darrell Rivas for a lot of his career here. I mean, he played his games. Most of his career was in New Jersey for the Jets. So, I mean, that's a good card. So.
Even though I'm a Bills fan, I told Brian that night. Brian, what did I say to you if I won that community chess that night? What did I say to you?
Yeah, you said
the Rivas card.
I took the Rivas card and I won, and I never took it back because that card is beautiful. The Don Manley card that I showed earlier. Like, I've gotten opportunities to get, like, my first graded hockey card I got from you guys from the set break. Mike Rogers, I think it's right.
Guys, they do great things like that all the time over at Vintage Breaks. The community chest is something that Leighton does that is free to the community. All
you don't even have to buy anything.
Is be a participant in the community and be a part of the chat and the live videos and the live streams, and you can get yourself.
Guys, I'll tell you what. That's how I got, like, Chris Gilmore did a thing in the chat. I won a free thing, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a break, and I bought a break, and I've been hooked ever since, guys. I will never buy from another breaking community. Maybe I do tend to, but Vintage Breaks is my baby, guys. I love it. It's my baby.
I mean, for me personally, like I say it all the time. I mean, first of all, there's no script for me. Like it is literally just me and like how I feel. Like if I was Mike, if I was Brian, if I was any of the people that buy into this, like I'm literally telling people, like if I was one of you guys, I would literally be shelling out my money to buy into these things because it would be too good for me to pass up on some of this stuff. To be too good to pass up on a chance for a Mickey Mantle card. You know how hard it is to get Mickey Mantle cards? Very.
Go look it
Especially
up on eBay. Try and figure it out for yourself.
some of the stuff that we're like literally giving away and giving out as bonuses and incentives, it's too good. And yet I'm like, guys, like I can't buy in because I'm an employee, but like you should be going I literally say it. This could be the best $7 you ever spend. This could be the greatest $8 you ever spend because you literally have a chance to get something great.
$6.50 I spent on that spot for the A-Rod, Dougie.
Yep.
$6.50, and that could be, if it grades a 9 or higher, could end up being a couple $1,000 card for me.
Exactly.
And who knows what?
Guys,
I think A-Rod's going to the Hall of Fame.
For
so
example,
once
that
he gets
Don
to the
Manley
Hall of
card,
Fame-
Brian. What did I pay for that cornerstone?
Which one?
The cornerstone.
Don
How what was Dougie? Do you know how much the cornerstone was?
$27, 27 I think it was.
Yeah,
$27.
$27. I hit the Don Manley rookie card, PSA 9, guys. Like that's like, I one spot wondered it, Dougie. One spot wondered the old thing.
One spot wonder is a thing that we have. It's legit. Ryan Kyle.
Legit.
Ryan Kyle was one of our first one spot heroes, and he ended up winning 86 Fleer Jordan in one of our set breaks. So I mean, one spot heroes do exist out there. So
yeah, actually, one of our friends, cause you've probably seen him in the chat, Tyler Casillo. He actually did come in early and asked who you were. He bought a pack in the 1977 pack, possibly, and he pulled who was it, Brian again?
Kareem on his first.
Kareem on his first card.
It was the third spot.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it probably could grade. It might grade an 8. It might grade. It's a really well centered card.
So I mean, now it's I know it's so this is 86 Fleer.
Oh,
yeah.
That's 86. Wow. That's 86 Fleer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So
that is really well centered. I mean, it's a little off top to bottom, but that is really nice, Dougie.
That's beautiful.
Crud.
That's beautiful.
Yep. That one is nice there.
So that's just some of the
great things you guys could get involved in at Vintage Breaks as well, guys.
And the community, guys. Like honestly, me and Brian, like I'm not gonna lie, there are people that have just in chat and said, hey, give that card to and they do that kind of thing, guys. It's this community is something that we want to build in our community, but we want you guys to go to this community and see the people that we see. It's just get into the breaks. Don't be afraid to buy something their breaks are a lot more affordable. They have breaks you can buy for $3, for $7. You could buy a break for $3 and hit a Steve Young rookie card in one of the packs possibly.
86 Topps football. I keep hoping to pull that card. So.
And you know what's funny? Talking today, Brian hit one from a free pack because you remember what that Leighton was giving him. Hits a Steve Young rookie card, probably gonna braid a PSA 9. Dougie.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm so pumped about it. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Good for you, man. That's what, it's good when people do it, but when it's people that you really, really like that get the cards, that fires me up. That's how I get excited. That's when I get excited. So, so while you guys were talking, I actually did a trivia.
So do you want to send that to Brian in Discord, and then he can send it to me because I can only check it on my phone.
Okay, so I guess the chat here, so you guys can only see it. So
yeah, send it in. Send it in the chat. Yep.
Okay, let me just type it in the chat. Ooh, all right.
And Mike, do you want me to just read the question, or do you want me to send it over to you?
No, I just want to see the answer, and then Dougie can read the question.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so that's the first person to type in the chat.
Okay, so whenever you guys are ready, I'll announce the sure I have the right. Yes. Okay. So all right. So whenever you guys want me to announce it, I am ready to go. So
yep. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
All right,
Dougie. You can go ahead and announce it right now.
All right, guys. So whoever the first person that they see on their screen. So again, and I do this with Vintage Breaks too. So guys, it's the first person that they see on their screen because everybody has different lag times and whatnot. So it's the first one that they see on them. So, what team selected Bo Jackson with the #1 overall pick in the 1986 NFL Draft?
Okay, guys, you heard it.
Yep. And we'll repeat a couple times for people that do come in. And first person type in. Go use that Google, guys. Go ahead. If you have to get out of chat, go use Google. I mean, that's it. That's what they do, I guess. You know. I've done it. I've done it in Vintage Breaks, guys.
So again, guys, what team selected Bo Jackson with the #1 overall pick in the 1986 NFL Draft?
And it's not an obvious one, and you're going to see when you see who the team is, you're going to see why, because it's not a given.
So go ahead, guys, type in the chat. Anyone who wants to answer that question. Man, it is really hot in my room right now. One more thing I wanted to... Oh, there they are. Star Wars cards. That's another thing that they can do over at Vintage Breaks. It became one of my loves. So as an avid Star Wars fan, I love the movies, I love the trilogy, I love the old trilogy and the new trilogy. Vintage Breaks has Star Wars packs from 1977.
No, it's not right, Dad. Close, though. Close.
Oh, you got it wrong?
Close,
We
Dad.
got a wrong answer first?
Twice. 2 wrong answers. Come on, Dad. You got it. Look it up on Google.
So at Vintage Break, so we have the first, we have 1977 Top Star Wars First Series, and then we also have 4 Series, which that's the card that you're holding up from the 4 Series.
Yep,
So,
I got a First Series one here. Let me grab out my first.
Another community member by the name of Michael Cook was gracious enough, and this was kind of a surprise to me because I was not expecting this this past week. Package came to me in the office, and one of the cards was the C-3PO. How you doing?
How you doing?
So awesome. How you doing?
The reason why Star Wars has become a thing for me is my son, my 6-year-old son, whose name is Carson. He's gotten really big into Star Wars. Now, me personally, like I've never been big into it because I was more the sports person. I just never really got into movies, and it's, I have nothing against Star Wars at all. Obviously, eventually I'm gonna have to watch him now because he talks about it all the time. So one of the cards I have, so this is the regular one. I can give him this card. He can have this. I can't give him that card.
Oh man, that's great.
Definitely not. He might be asking Dad why that card looks that way.
My ex-wife will have some vengeance. Like, why are you giving your son a card with a certain thing sticking out? It's like,
how you doing?
How you doing? the thing that's standing at attention. It's obvious.
Yeah, right. That print, that card, that is so funny. Like I get so much enjoyment out of that.
If you look on eBay, if you look at that error card in PSA high grade, that card sells for good money.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
I mean, yeah, it's a funny joke and it's an error, but at the same time, in our industry, that card sells for a lot of money.
It sure does.
Los Angeles Raiders. No, Dad, that's not right, Dad.
Nope.
Your dad.
And that's the thing. He played for the Raiders, but they are not the team that drafted him #1 overall in 1986.
Not the team. Close, but no cigar, Daddy.
Use Google, Mr. Mike. I know you know how to use Google.
Come on, Dad.
Yeah.
You can guess as many times as you want, guys, too. Let's get the guesses in here.
So just to give you guys an overall perspective, so it's not the Oakland Raiders that he played for in his NFL career. So the Raiders ended up he was a 7th round draft pick in the 1987 draft. So he went in 2 drafts. So he was the 7th round pick in 87 by the Raiders. But in 86, he was #1 overall to another team that he never played for.
Gotcha.
So, yep.
Gotcha. That's a good one there, Dougie. That's a stumper. So come on, guys, go ahead, type in the chat, drop
mean-
in an answer.
I mean, I would just be naming teams. I mean, it's a current team. It's
It is a current team. Mike, are you looking at the chat? I'm sorry, I'm not watching it right this
I'm
minute.
looking.
So Dougie, I wanted to ask you. This is just like outside of like the stream, whatever's going on. When does that baseball card exchange website? When do they tend to put new products up there? Like I check it pretty often, and I haven't really seen anything new on there lately.
It's really whenever they can get it. It's just
Yeah.
because it's just being able to verify stuff. I mean, unfortunately, in the card industry, there's a lot of fakes out there. There's a lot of things that could be scammed. It's when you have to verify things and make sure it's legit before you can put it on there to be able to be sold, and you're attaching your reputation to it. You got to go through the steps of protocol. So it's just when stuff becomes available to
Now
Steve Harvey.
they don't buy like obviously they don't buy so much like modern stuff. They look for vintage, right? Like sealed vintage. Is that their kind of their go-to?
Vintage is kind of, I mean, I'm sure they get some modern stuff, but I mean, yeah, I mean, their bread and butter and what they base their reputation is the vintage stuff. Yes.
I mean, you know, anytime you try and buy a new product that releases off of Panini America, the website crashes. There's so many people get on it and go crazy for it. They can't even handle it.
I've had videos where like it's been myself, S10, J5, the one guy in our office, Robert, who's our shipping manager. We've literally sat and at like 11 o'clock in the morning, we're literally trying to buy basically for like first off of the website, first off the line, like whatever it is, because we're trying to buy and then we're gonna put it on our site for people to try to get into. And it's just sometimes like they don't care who we are, they don't care that we're Vintage Breaks, they don't care we're Just Collect. They're just whoever wants it, hey, like, and we're trying to get it. And sometimes we're lucky we can get 5 boxes, sometimes we're lucky if we get one, sometimes we've struck out and got nothing. It happens. It's just that's the way it goes.
Really is. Like I seen Drew talking about it on Facebook about how quick the site crashed this weekend when the Chronicles released, the NBA Chronicles. Like, does Panini not, like, they gotta have the people and the tech support to be able to handle something like that, right? I mean, how does that kind of stuff continuously happen for them?
I don't think I don't know if they expect a massive
Oh, okay, my bad. I was going to the bathroom, guys. My bad. You got somebody in the chat. I think Pam just got it.
Tampa Bay Bucks. Yes, Pam.
Bo Jackson.
Pam got it right.
Mo Jackson was the #1 overall pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the '86 draft. However, he did not play a single game for the Bucks. Ended up going back into the draft the following year and went to the Oakland Raiders in 1987 in the 7th round. And then he played for the Raiders. So
now, why is that? Why did he go all the way in the 7th round the next year?
There you go, Pam.
I know the story. I want to be able to
like. Did they not think he was going to be as good now?
Well, I mean, so Brian, what I'm actually going to do for Pam, I'm going to open the packs.
Oh, okay.
Just so we can get a little break in the night too, as well.
Sounds good.
So Bo was he was a baseball player to go along with being he did a football player. So he was part of 2 different sports at the same time. So he played for the Kansas City Royals, and he also played for the Oakland Raiders. So I mean, I mean, obviously I was 2 years old during the time, but he in '86 he decided he wasn't going to play for the Bucks. He decided I'm going to go play baseball, and
okay, I gotcha.
Yeah,
so,
because I mean, Tampa Bay.
The next team wouldn't want to spend their first. What if he doesn't want to play for us and he wants to just play baseball for the Royals? I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I mean, he refused to play for them. It was a whole like thing back in '86. It was like stuff that was going on during college, and I forget, like it was something that happened with the Buccaneers visit and whatnot. So he decided, you know what, I'm not gonna be in the NFL. I'm gonna go play baseball, and he ended up going to play for the Royals. Um, and then he ended up re-going back into the draft and actually decided he went to the Raiders in the 7th round. And then he was a two-sport athlete. He played several years with the Royals and then the White Sox, and then he played a couple years with the Oakland Raiders. So I think he played 4 years with the Raiders, and then he had a hip injury, and then it kind of he was never really the same. He played baseball, but he wasn't really the same.
Ty, you just missed the giveaway, man. Man, oh man. So okay, Dougie, well, I'm gonna start to cut you off. I'm gonna open these packs for Pam. So here you go, Pam. You're gonna enjoy a little breakage. It's just some 1980. I think it's 89.
That's really cool to know about Bo Jackson, though. That he wanted to play baseball, wasn't sure what he was gonna do. Same.
Oh, there you go, Dougie. Dougie, should I eat the gum?
Kyler Murray was inflicted with.
Should I eat the gum?
No, don't eat the gum.
What do you think, Dougie?
What is it? What's the pack?
1989. It's probably not that bad.
See, gums is strange. Like some gums might taste okay, and some like the one that we all had from 1959 was actually
intense.
That was not as bad as, like, for instance, Sam and I had the gum from the 1977 Star Wars, and that was brutal freaking gum.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some gums that's like it's not as terrible as it seems. I remember the first time that it was last summer, and I remember it was to close a product. Basically, we needed like 30 people to spend $100, and I was like, you know what? If we do it, I'm gonna eat the gum from 1975 Topps Mini Baseball, and they wanted to see if I would actually like live up to like basically they want to see if I was gonna put my money where my mouth is. They closed the promo, and I went on camera and I ate the gum, and from then on it's like, you know what, no big deal. It's stale gum. Some of them it's not as terrible as others, but you know what, it's not gonna kill me. So
Glenn Davis, Roger Clemens, okay. Dale Strawberry.
That's very funny. Yeah, that Star Wars gum looks pretty brutal sometimes when you guys
Jack
open those
Clark
packs.
For that one.
Oh my goodness.
There you go,
Some
Pam.
of the gum, oh my goodness, some of the gum looks like I refer to it as like it looks like filleted tuna. In the 1980 Topps basketball packs, like I literally looks like somebody took the gum and like lit it on fire, because it literally looks like how like a burnt cigarette, like on some of the stuff, it just looks like somebody lit it like on fire.
Crazy.
And I tell people, like, if I hit the burnt magic, I'll eat the gum.
Yeah, the most brutal gum you can find.
My goodness, I've seen some that like
Barry Larkin, Eric Davis, Breville Pama, Wade Boggs, and Ted Hughes. There you go, Pam.
One of the products that we had an issue with was 1979 Topps Football, because for some reason the gum was like literally like making the cards, like it was making them like bend inside the pack. So like we couldn't give out any of the cards because like some of them were like they would look like these little squiggly lines, like you could see, like it was just like ruining the cards. And we would literally be going through packs and just like, wow, like what, like why this product? And it was unexplainable that like some gums are perfectly good and come off nice and easy, like 86 Top Football, and then 79 Topps Football, it's like it might actually ruin all 15 cards.
Now, when was like the last year they stopped putting gum in the wax packs?
I think we saw that was like 89, I think.
89. So like right about the start of the 90s, the gum kind of vanished.
It was a thing of the past. Yeah, I think it was around that time that it was no longer something that was being done. But yeah, before then, and I mean even way before then, I mean baseball cards used to be something that you get out of a tobacco pack.
Yeah.
So, which I mean, we did. I don't even know how they found it, but I mean, Leighton went on a show with Gary Vaynerchuk, and they opened up three tobacco packs from 1910, and the tobacco was in there, and with the hopes of finding a card. And it wasn't even guaranteed back then that you would even get a baseball card. Sometimes you might not get a card, or you might get a card of like a cardinal. You might get like a war general, or you could get a baseball player. The third and final one, we thought that we had a card in there, and it was a coupon for cigarettes.
Oh.
There was no guarantee in 1910 that you could get anything.
Yeah.
And that's the risk. But I mean, hey, like God for like, I mean, I could have only imagined.
There would have been a card in each one of those bags, though. Like, think about it.
I could have only imagined Leighton's reaction if we pulled like Ty Cobb out of there.
Oh my God, dude! Leighton would have fallen.
He would have literally thrown a desk out the window from excitement. I mean,
you can just see his excitement for the Mickey Mantle. He is.
Mantle.
Oh man. Even J5, you see J5, he's like jumping up.
Because I mean, my background photo for Leighton when he calls me is literally the bugging out of his head. And that's my background photo for him when he calls me, and that's not planned. That's not staged.
Oh, not at all.
Leighton had no idea that Mickey Mantle card was in there until our former breaker was like literally hyping him up like, you need to record history right now. He was the first one to know. Everything was covered. We have no idea Mickey Mantle was in that pack. And then all of a sudden when he saw it, I mean, his heart was ready to explode out of his chest.
I mean, he must have seen it when he picked up the card before it and was like, oh my gosh, like, this is it. Like, holy crud. It actually came.
And that's
think about it, because like you said, it came out in spot like 19 to 20. 19. So like, your hope and all that slowly starts to go down, more as you get along in you're getting to the last 3 cards, you're like, oh, come on. I got 3 shots left, and then the second last one, oh man, I couldn't even imagine. I don't even know how he picked up the card. I would be shaking. I would be out of my shoes.
I know, like, dude, it's crazy.
That's actually what John was talking about when we were doing the 2013 the Panini Elite a couple weeks ago. Like he showed, like, when he saw the back of Giannis's card, he's like, wait a minute, and he saw the shape and how it was. This wasn't a base card. This was a potential special card, and I could hear him like, oh my god. I'm like, okay, what do you got? I picked it up immediately, like, oh my god, it's 2013. Like, it's got to be Giannis. I'm running to the where he is, and he shows me it. I'm like, oh my god, we might have something really good here. And I'm literally like, please let this be an autograph at least. Never to my wildest dreams, I think that card was an autograph patch card. And just
I didn't even really think that was a thing for basketball, the rookie patch autographs. It's like those are rare to find. That's more of a football product kind of thing. But
and yet
the Kobe too, J5 couldn't even handle the excitement when he pulled that EX Kobe.
He had no idea, because he
was like, whoa.
He had no idea that Kobe Bryant card, and he forgot 96 was Kobe Bryant's rookie year, and that variation card could even be in there, and yet there it was.
And oh man, that was awesome. That happened about a month ago, that Kobe EX, and that J5 was blown away.
That was almost 2 months ago.
Was it really? Holy crud.
Because now it's August 1st, so
that's right.
It was in the beginning of June at our last event before this current one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean,
wow.
You never know what might come out of a pack, and that's what makes what we do so exciting, because any pack is a chance for a magical moment to happen.
Absolutely. So Dougie, I just one more time want to thank you so much for coming on today, man, with us, for sticking with us here. We've been actually live for a pretty long time here, so I really appreciate all the time that you've given us here today. It was a lot of fun chit-chatting with the community.
Giving away something we could do for you, to do a little giveaway trivia like you do. Yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome, man. No, my pleasure, guys, and I'm sure I'll be doing future episodes with you in the future.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's an honor and a privilege just to be able to just have a good time and just do this. And yeah,
Thank you so much again, dude. Really, thank you. And
guys,
guys, don't be afraid to go check out Vintage Breaks. They're the best in the business. Like I said, the link is in the chat for you guys. Me and Mike both have posted it. It's real simple, www.vintagebreaks.com. It'll take you right to where you need to go. The website is perfect. It'll lead you in any direction for any question you
And
need.
guys, honestly, while we are probably going to be, wrapping it up soon here, there's
Yep.
somebody live on Vintage Breaks. If you want to get into a break right now, I'm pretty sure they are live as we speak. Am I not right, Dougie?
if there's nobody live right now, tomorrow our Sunday show is Vintage Break South, which is Chris Gilmore and Drew Herndon. And if Drew can't go, sometimes it's usually Chris Gilmore and myself.
Yep.
So I don't think anybody's going right now, but if nobody's live right now, then tomorrow our Sunday show, 4:00 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, most of the show is until Vintage Breaks West starts with Charles. All of it is Eastern times, just so everyone
exactly.
knows.
And me, just so everybody knows, me and Brian are probably, like I said, going to go back on later. We just we want to get this in. We appreciate Dougie spending his time with us and, barely of a time that he could do something else, but he chose to, come on here and really, show us what Vintage Breaks is all about and what the community is all about. Because you can guys see, Dougie's an awesome person, and he shows it by just coming on here and just generosity and coming and spending time with me and Brian on a show that we've been really trying to get somebody like on there, and Dougie is our first guest, and we are very, very appreciative of that, Dougie. You don't even understand. It's we can't even express it in our emotions or words, because it's just like we didn't even think it could ever happen, and we do appreciate it, man.
It's been my pleasure. I'm glad I got to be your first guest, and I'm sure I'm not going to be your last, and it's not going to be the last time that you see me being on one of your shows, just doing this and just having a good old time with a couple guys on the East Coast talking sports and cards and enjoying life. And it's been a blast, and I'm glad that I got to do this on a Saturday night.
Anything else you want to say to the viewers before we do, wrap it up here? Anything you want to say to them?
You know what? In the spirit of one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, being Hulk Hogan, I am going to do this. So.
Yes.
What you gonna do, brothers, when Vintage Breaks and Dougie Fresh run wild on you?
Yeah, and we're gonna end it on that one, guys. Dougie, you have a great night. We appreciate it. The Mike and Brian show, I had to bring that to you, and that's Dougie Fresh, and you guys can see him on Vintage Breaks. Have a good one, guys.